Hello, this is not a regular in real life video, if you're accustomed to them. This is a money video, that's right. We did a crowdfunding video a few years ago, and I've sort of talked about, off and on again, like, I should probably be remaking that video about once a year, so I'm thinking, hey, why not do it before January ends? So here we are, right? If you follow the channel for a long time, you'll know that we have systems in place, like, for instance, we have a Patreon, we've got the coffee page, we have got the, like, super chats and channel memberships, and I've even got, like, a personal PayPal and all of that. These are all ways in which you can sort of tip the channel financially. And tipping tends to be the jargon that I prefer. I know a lot of folks will just say, like, donate or dono or whatever, which, I don't know, it's semantics at the end of the day, but I do prefer the term, like, tip, because it feels a lot more in line with, like, what's happening. You know, like, if it's a donation, depending on where you live, that could be, like, a tax write-off or whatever, you know? More so, you're sort of, like, tipping me because you just especially liked it and you had the means to do it, right? Which gets me to the first point. As per usual, as we have in the past, like I said, this is just kind of remaking and refreshing the old video that we had. This is going to be what I post everywhere that this kind of video pops up. But there's nothing locked behind a paywall, and I have no intention to do that for the foreseeable future, right? I mean, I guess it's possible. It could happen. It could be, like, necessary in the distant future, but for the time being, for the foreseeable future, like I said, everything is available to everybody. It is purely tipping. There is nothing where if you sign up on Patreon, you get access to, like, secret videos, or you get anything like that, or you get, like, access to voting on what we play next on the channel, which seems like a decent enough idea, but it's not really something I want to do just yet. I know other folks have had, like, decent responses to that, but I don't know. For the time being, there's a lot of things that I know I want to play, and I kind of don't want to make any commitments beyond that, at least for the time being, right? But yeah. Generally speaking, I know some folks will ask, do I have a preference for any of these? Really, I open up all the different routes to sort of accommodate people who want to tip, right? To accommodate you, the general viewer who is keen on that. And really, I guess I have a preference for maybe Patreon and PayPal/coffee, right? I think if I did have to pick a preference, but otherwise, entirely it exists like, oh, I would rather, like, I do want to give you a tip or whatever, but I don't really want to do it through this organization, or I don't want to use this for whatever reason. Thus, try to have several options available. And like I said, for the foreseeable future, sort of to reiterate on this point, very important point, I think, everything is available, nothing paywalled. I think at most, anything hidden would be, like, if I have to do an update video specifically for people who, you know, tend to the Patreon or whatever, right? If there's something about that. Which, speaking of which, sort of this being the big money video or whatever for this year, when it comes to Patreon, this used to not be the case, but recently I did have to do a video about this to sort of update everybody. When you do sign up, if you do and when you do sign up, the time in which you do it will be the time in which you are billed from then on out, right? It used to be like it was always, I think, at the end of a month, but now there's sort of this freedom allotted to where you can decide when you want it to come out of your card or your account or whatever, right? Just an extra layer of, I guess, I don't know, agency or something like that. But let's see, is there anything else? Like I said, there are also, like, YouTube super chat system. There's the channel membership. And once again, that really doesn't get you anything. I think for channel memberships, I keep them all at their lowest tier. Same goes for Patreon, but on Patreon, you can choose to like, oh, by default, it's set to its lowest possible tier, which is, I think, 99 cents or $1 United States dollars. And then you can, from there, you can adjust it up as much as you would like. Obviously, I would like you to send it as high as you can, but let's be realistic. Let's be a little chill, right? Let's relax. But yeah, you can sort of do as you want there. I think the one benefit that I have zero control over when it comes to channel memberships, which is through YouTube, I think at certain thresholds of like being a membership for a certain amount of time, you get like a little like verification badge, a little like tick by your name if/when you leave a comment that says like, oh, this person has been a member to this channel for this amount of time or whatever, right? So you do get that. I don't have any way to toggle that on or off, as far as I know. Last I checked, maybe I do now. But regardless, that's sort of the end-all be-all there when it comes to tipping the channel directly. Of course, it is massively appreciated, and it massively helps whenever you do. But just as well, it is not required. When it comes to the channel, we do well enough. Obviously, it would be nice to do weller, right? But we do well enough with regards to like ad revenue and what do you call it, like YouTube premium watch time, as it were, right? Which, by the way, I guess we should mention this in the money video, sort of reiterate on my, like, I don't know what you would call it, my like plan, my protocol for putting in ads. When it comes to like playthrough videos, right? Always do one at the start and one at the end, right? An ad break at the start and the end. And then in the middle, we do one for every time there is a 30-minute period, right? So for instance, if there's like, let's play Skyrim 179, right? It's like 58 minutes long, that video, right? There'll be one ad break in the middle. However, if the next video, let's play Skyrim 180, is like an hour and 10 minutes, there will just be two ad breaks somewhere in the middle, right? As far as I know, I haven't broken that rule, right? That's sort of my own internal rule, because I think you put too many ads in them, and it becomes kind of like a hindrance to the enjoyment, even when it is like a longer video. I don't know. Very much I have it set up in a way to where it's like, well, would this annoy me, right? Which, from the get-go, a lot of this is sort of tying back to, you know, what would I prefer? What would I like? Thus, we sort of have that like ad protocol set up. Like I said, I think I've adhered to it pretty well for the most part. I can't think of any situations where I've had to like break it. Oh, of course, like times where I can't control it, where like, oh, there is a copyrighted song or whatever in here for whatever reason, and thus the copyright holder gets to decide the ad placement, right? That's like the big main exception. Because in that case, I don't have control over it, right? But that's kind of beyond the pale. Let's see, what else? We've kind of stuck to that. We've done well. Like I said, you really don't get anything for this. I can't reiterate that enough. It is very much just tipping. You don't get a single thing for it, and I kind of like keeping it that way. It's a little bit less work for me, and like I said, I think it keeps it, I don't know, somewhat fair, right? I don't like the idea of giving like preferential treatment to someone just because they were able, like I said before, going back to like, oh, what would annoy me? You know, I want to go back to a point and think like, okay, when I was like a young teenager or whatever, I was watching videos and stuff. I want to have my videos be accessible to that person, to me from the past, right? That is very much like the methodology, the thought process behind the scenes there. Also, since this is the 2025 money video, I actually had to check the date. But since this is the 2025 money video, which I guess is why I'm just calling it, there is also, I have a like creator code for the Epic Games Store, which isn't like a sponsorship or whatever, but it's a creator code, right? You've probably seen these in other places where like if you buy something off of the Epic Games Store or like some kind of DLC or microtransaction in something like Fortnite, right? You can plug in my creator code, LYLE, and then, I don't know, whenever you make a purchase, I will get some amount of it, depending on, like, did you buy it off the Epic Games Store? Did you buy it off of Fortnite or whatever, right? So, pretty simple thing to just plug in. A lot of folks have them. At the very least, you should probably use somebody's because it'll help them out. If not mine, somebody's. Let's see. Is there anything else? Oh, yeah. Also, I have, once again, this is not a sponsorship. Let me tell you, if they do sponsor me at some point in the future, you will know. But I have a referral code for my favorite shirt maker, Proper Cloth. It is in the descriptions. You have to follow the link and all of that. But it is a referral code for Proper Cloth. They do sponsorships and all of that. But like I said, this is just a referral code that anybody can access. They haven't sponsored me so far, right? it would be nice. Hey, if they want to, I would be open, right? I like them quite a bit. Like I said, they are my favorite shirt maker. They do made to measure, wherein you sort of plug in a lot of your information about like what you want in a shirt, specifically your measurements, right? This is really helpful if you have like non-standard, non-easy to fit off the rack measurements, right? Obviously, this is expensive as well, right? This is expensive. So this is kind of like, I love them a lot, but this is why I'm showing you my referral code here, because I will save $20 if you also decide to take up the referral code, which you'll also save $20 on the first order or whatever, I believe. But what they do is you sort of plug in information about how you like your shirt to fit, right? You can do like, the width for like the bicep, the sleeve length. I believe now you can even do different lengths per sleeve, right? Which they used to not have, which was kind of I would say kind of a short-sighted, oversight. But now they have it in their system, I believe. Super good. A decently common situation, right? I mean, if we get down to brass tacks, everybody has a non-standard body, right? At best, off the rack is just like, trying to get as many people as possible, roughly. It ain't perfect. But for instance, I'm on the shorter side. I got a big head, and thus my neck is a little bit larger than normal in order to hold up that head. Thus, for the rest of me, I tend to fit into like a medium, right? However, my neck measurement is a lot bigger than that, right? Because I got a big head. Thus, hey, I can get a shirt from this company, from Proper Cloth, made to measure and all that. And they get the measurements right on, spot on. It's pretty good. They even account for like, if you wash your shirt or whatever, it's going to shrink a little bit. You can say like, I want you to account for that. If you know that this fabric shrinks X amount, and they'll be like, okay, yeah, here you go. Make sure you wash it twice or whatever. And they'll give you little instructions and all that. And even better, when it's your first time, they have like a free remake system, right? I think they've updated, don't quote me on this part. I think they have updated where if it's your first order, you have like a 30, maybe even 60-day period to just return the shirt for free, and they will just remake it for you if you find that like the fit isn't quite right. They have like a smart fit system, but my favorite way to do it is to just, if you already have a shirt that you know you really like, just take the measurements of that, right? Measure that, and they have like little guides and stuff set up there. So yeah, this is exactly what I did. I had like shirts that I had thrifted that I really liked the fit of, but like I said, the neck for like the collar was a little bit off. So I just tweaked that, right? I plugged in all the exact same stuff elsewhere. Maybe fine tune a few other things, maybe brush them up a little bit, make them a little bit better, a little bit nicer. But for the most part, that was the main thing. Just change around the neck. Very nice. Like I said, if you've got any sort of measurement that is non-standard and makes it difficult for you to fit anything off the rack, super duper nice. Even better though, gosh, listen, it sounds like I've been sponsored by them, but I'm telling you, I just like them. I just like talking about it. Even better though, is their sort of like detail customization. You can pick from like a wide array of fabrics. Personally, I like the like Clark Oxford cloth. That's why I'm actually, listen, I'm actually wearing it right now. The Clark Oxford cloth, this one is in navy. I quite like that, but I really love, I've come to find out, the American Pima. Oh my gosh, if you know, it feels like those really nice, thick, the American Pima Oxford cloth, to be clear. It feels just like those nice, thick, vintage Brooks Brothers OCBDs. The fabric feels just like it. They've got other stuff too, right? If you're not into like the same aesthetic as I am, they've got like low twist Japanese stuff. They've got chambrays. They've got like denims. They've got various like linen mixes and blends, all that good stuff. You can get one that's just like merino wool, right? They got so much stuff going on. But my favorite as well, like I said, the one that I absolutely love is the American Pima. It feels so amazing. Also, I love the button-down collars. I started with, and that's what this is. This is the like Ivy button-down collar. Man, I cannot stop. Look, this was supposed to be the money video. Now I'm talking about clothes. I'm talking about shirts in here. This is a problem. All right, I'll try to be a little bit quick here. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. But they have this this Ivy button-down collar, which is a nod to like, the Ivy style. But man, I came to love the soft Roma, which is about 0.5 inches longer on the collar points. And it just has this wild and beautiful collar roll, right? It looks great if you button it up and put a tie on, right? Which, it's very, very American, in some ways Italian, but certainly not like a lot of places in Europe will scoff at wearing a necktie with a button-down collar. But, if you know your sartorial world, as it were, you'll know that these things kind of go hand in hand. But nonetheless, man, absolutely love it. Get the soft, wide placket. Get the soft cuffs to where there's not like fusing, no inner lining, and it gets kind of like, it like has a nice structure to it, especially when combined with the thicker fabric. It has this nice structure to it, but it has this like right amount of give and everything. Oh my gosh, it's like the perfect balance. It's amazing. Man, I love it. And you can even customize like the back yoke. Get like a center box pleat with the little locker loop. God, I love the little locker loop. I love the little locker loop so much. Oh my gosh, what a tiny detail. Gosh, this sounds horrible. I'm like completely gushing. They're never going to sponsor me at this point. But hey, at the very least, like I said, check them out. There's like a link in most of the descriptions for videos, right? As I had gotten the referral code or the referral link, I've been trying to like put in all new videos and stuff in the descriptions, right? If you decide to use it and you order your first shirt, you get 20 smackaroonies off. Like I said, these are kind of expensive. These are things that like personally I save up for them. This is like a little birthday or Christmassy time treat for me. But you get 20 smackaroonies off, and then once it's shipped out to you and you keep it, I get 20 smackaroonies off too. I get 20 smackaroonies in store credit. So hey, it's pretty nice, right? But I think that ought to do it for the money video of 2025. Wow, we really flew off the rails there at the end. That's probably a problem. Should I cut that? You know what? I'm going to leave it in and just hope it's endearing. All right, until next time, please take care of each other.